What's happening, sports fans? How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good day to you, and we're looking back at the late and tragic death of Steve McNair on this day, July 4th. 16 years ago, the NFL lost one of its most versatile quarterbacks the league had ever seen at that time. We're going to talk about that in this segment. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that follow button, and subscribe to the YouTube channels if you have not already done so. Those channels are Kendrick Sports Hustle as well as TFG Sports Media. I remember this day well. I remember 16 years ago where I was when the news broke that the legendary quarterback Steve McNair had been unalived. I was at home. I was just cruising the cable channels, stopped on CNN, and it was breaking news. The banner running across the bottom. Former Titans quarterback Steve McNair has been unalived. And at that time, we didn't know all the details surrounding what happened, but then later on, the details would come out that it was a crime of passion, according to what we know. There's still some say that they don't believe that the young lady that unalived Steve McNair, who he was seeing at the time, was the one that actually did it. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Steve McNair, the football player, and where does he fit in? He came in 1995 as the third overall pick of the then Houston Oilers out of Alcorn State, where he shattered many records with his arm and with his legs. Then he would become an Oiler, and later on the Oilers would move to Tennessee, and that's when Steve McNair would come into his own and lead that franchise to its only Super Bowl appearance. He would be named NFL co-MVP in 2003, which at that time he was the first black quarterback to ever win that award. Again, he led the Titans to the Super Bowl in 1999. He played 13 seasons in the NFL. He was a three-time Pro Bowler. He threw for 34,304 yards, 175 touchdowns, 119 interceptions. He had a 60.1% completion percentage. He rushed for 38 touchdowns, and he ran for 3,590 yards. So that is all the stats behind the man they called Air McNair. And I was just sitting wondering, when we talk about all the quarterbacks, especially when you talk about from the 90s, starting from the mid-90s to probably the mid-2000s, Steve McNair was one of the top 5-6 quarterbacks in the league. He was that dude. And I think sometimes McNair is kind of left off the list when you talk about black quarterbacks that were able to carry a team. I think it's two in my mind that always get left out the conversation. It's Steve McNair and it's Randall Cunningham when he was with the Eagles, and when he would later on have some success with the Minnesota Vikings as well. That is Randall Cunningham. But Steve McNair, again, coming out of the SWAC conference, historically black college and university, where he played at Alcorn State. A lot of people didn't give him a shot. They didn't think he had what it takes to play the quarterback position at the NFL because of him coming from an all-black college. And as we saw, he proved them wrong. That is, McNair did. Now, all the question marks surrounding his death, I try to stay away from, but just try to remember what he did on the field. Again, he is one of the toughest quarterbacks to play, 6'2", 230 pounds. He could throw it with the best of them, and he could run it too. He took that Titans team and put it on his back, he and Eddie George. And again, he was actually drafted by the Houston Oilers. And I know a lot of Oilers fans, they don't really claim the Tennessee Titans. I get it. But the Titans technically was still the Houston Oilers, even though the Houston got their own team now, the Texans. But he was the original. He wasn't part of the Love You Blue, but McNair, again, would be an Oiler forever. His jersey has been retired, I do know, by the Titans, as well as by the Baltimore Ravens, where he would end his career. He would play 2 seasons with Baltimore. But again, on today, we just looking back and remembering Steve McNair, who at the time was only 36 years old at the time of his death. And I just want to hear your thoughts on where does he fit in when you talk about the quarterbacks from the 90s. And I'm talking specifically from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. It's hard to argue where he fit. In my opinion, I think he definitely was a top 5, top 6 quarterback during that window. I'd like to know your thoughts. Talk to me in the comments. I'm Kendrick, the sports guy. We will see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Peace.